Give the camera a big yawn. I'm not a morning person. I never have been. But I'm trying to be. Good morning, y'alls. I think I'm finished with the painting of the ladies. That's what I'm titling it, the ladies. Yeah, sorry, I'm not much of a morning person and I don't really think too well in the mornings. But I need to get in the studio more often if I want to start doing something with this. So I decided to sacrifice 2 hours of sleep. I don't know if that's wise or not. I just hope everybody at work's not going to be too upset. I decided to sacrifice a couple hours of sleep for some more time in the studio because yesterday I spent like 2 hours in the studio. No, an hour and a half. I had an hour and a half in the studio, and I finished the painting, and I felt really good about, you know, having a little bit of time, in the studio to, you know, do what I need to do. And it's like I need to put more time towards what it is I want to achieve if I want to actually get that going. So, yeah, this morning I decided I'd sacrifice a couple hours so that I'm in here and I've got time to do what I need to do. One thing that kind of sticks in my head is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was a foreigner, but he spent a good percentage of his day. He only slept 6 hours a day, and he spent the rest of his day either working out, going to school, doing a job, so on and so forth. He actually spent, sorry, I'm doing the math in my head, 18 hours I think it is. Yeah, 18 hours of his day doing everything he could to be able to achieve his goals. The fact that he organized his time to where he could do what he needed to do is inspiring. And I think I'm going to try and do that so that I can get more time into doing what I need to do in order to achieve my goals. There you go. So, yeah, this is cup number 2. Let's see the finished piece. For the painting itself, after redoing the background, I redid this a couple times because I overstated the blue, and the pink didn't quite show through. You can still see some pinks in the corners here, like I left. I like that, and like right here, you can see pink sticking through. Pink. There's some pink. There's another one. Pink. That's what I really wanted, was that a little bit of that underpainting to kind of stick through. This is a bit more than anticipated, but right here you can see that. And this is the one thing I love about acrylics, is the luminosity you can get through the layers. Acrylics are opaque in their own manner, but they've got a transparency to them. And that's different than oils. It's different from gouache. Sorry, there was a... I think there was a kitten or a rabbit or something that just went through my yard. That caught my attention. We have a lot of wildlife activity in the mornings. I was getting my second cup of coffee, and Jack was out there. Or Jacqueline. Jackrabbit, Jacqueline Rabbit? Nonetheless. Okay, so. But anyways, the luminosity that acrylics can have is because of the transparent layers. Even though they're opaque-ish, there's still a transparency to them. And that's what I love about acrylics. I learned that a while ago when I was working on like a plein air painting, because I put down a layer, I didn't like it, put down another layer, didn't really like it, put down the third layer, and because I didn't totally go over the top of everything, I could see it kind of like the 3 different layers. Loved it, loved it. So I think she's done. That right there kind of captures the entire essence of, you know, the ladies sitting out there hanging out and enjoying themselves. So that's a little, I don't know, I'll probably leave it. You know, imperfection in your work isn't necessarily a bad thing, and it's been done in the past. Looking at that little line reminds me of something. Several years ago, about a decade ago, a little more, I had the opportunity to see some really, really old paintings at a museum not too far from me. I was able to see The Lady with the Veil by Raphael. It's really small, but that thing was just, it was flat out freaking awesome seeing that thing. And then I saw another, it was like a triptych, I think, but it was I'm trying to remember what they're called. They're like an altar piece where in the church they usually have an altar, and up there they've got like artwork behind it. Well, this was one of those pieces that it was like 3 different paintings that were in a like a box. You open it up and you got 2 paintings on the side and you got one in the middle. Well, this one was, it was some sort of biblical scene, and I took a look at it really closely, and I noticed the imperfections in the artist's line work. And it's like, that right there, seeing that this was a grand masterpiece that was commissioned by the church, and it was completely awesome when you look back, but when you got up to it, that one little tiny imperfection gave me permission to not be so concerned about all of my perfect lines. And that was just like breathtaking, I guess you could say. Because this thing was like commissioned by a grand artist, and he made an imperfect line. And from there on, I just kind of told myself, you don't have to be perfect about things. Just get things the way you like it. So I don't worry about small imperfections anymore. I usually let those things go and let them be part of what the painting is. So, now that I've stopped rambling, hopefully. I'm going to sign this piece. Okay, so, when it comes to signing my paintings, one thing I personally do not do is I don't sign a painting until I feel I am completely done with it. In my mind, that tells me that is done. Don't worry about it no more. It is what it is. Let it be. If I don't have a painting signed, in my mind, I'll look at it and say, I need to fix it. I can fix it. I can do this. I can do that. But I try to make the last thing I do on a painting signing it. Other than, you know, the varnishing process. But that's a whole different story for a whole different time. But let me show you the painting. I got her down on the table. There you go. I always sign in either in the lower right hand corner or the lower left hand corner, and I always use a color that is in my painting or something that will kind of go along with it, so that it doesn't stand out too much, but doesn't, you know, don't blend in too much. So today what I'm going to be using is a Sharpie marker. This is what this is an oil-based fine point marker. Yes, I do know that oils and water don't mix, and you shouldn't mix water-based media with oil-based media unless you're doing oil-based on top. The reason why I'm using an oil-based pen is, one, I haven't had very good success with acrylic-based markers. My experience with them, it could be just the brand, but my experience with them hasn't been really good. They usually dry up on me really quickly. And so with oil-based, the only thing I'm using this for is my signature. And when this is dry and I put over the top that permanent protective coat, that protective coat is going to seal in that signature. So even though it won't adhere to the top of the oil-based marker, it will adhere to the sides of the acrylic itself and seal in that signature, so that when I go to varnish it, everything's fine. And I don't use this for anything other than my signature. I'm going to set you down right here, and we're going to get ready to sign my painting and finish this piece off. One thing I would strongly suggest you do is make sure you get your markers working before you start to sign it. Because that's just one of the worst things you could do, is try to sign your painting and you find out the marker isn't working properly. So, I don't want to make it too big, but I don't want to take it too small, so. And because I frame my paintings in the corner, on the sides, I'm not too concerned about it. But that is big enough for what I need. It's a little dark, but I don't mind it. It kind of doesn't overwhelm it, but it does give it some, my signature's there. So, there we go, the Grand A.J. Nibbins. This is my signature. I've had this for about 20 years now. So, I've always wanted people to know my work. I have dabbled in so many different genres of art and medias that I've never really noted where I wanted to go. However, with a lot more of experimentation and learning and expressing, I've gotten to the point where I think I know where I want to go. But for all the stuff I've done in the past, I want people to know that it's what I've done. So I have a very distinct signature. So painting is signed. I'm really happy with that. I like the way it is. I like the luminosity in it. I like the thickness in it. I'm just ecstatic. The ladies is finished, and I think I'm gonna photograph it and post it up on my social media site. Well, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure. Y'all come back now here.